Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to bring you a new video today. Talking about a TV show that I've recently been pretty into. That I've had some varying thoughts on. Um, do I? The show is Twin Peaks. So Twin Peaks is a show that I have greatly enjoyed in some ways and really not liked as much in other ways. And I'm going to get into that. So this show had some really great moments and a lot of really great characters, but also some really not so good moments and some not so good characters. So, let's start from the beginning. Um, and I'm gonna only go over the original Twin Peaks because Twin Peaks is like this show. Twin Peaks: The Return, different show. Um, it is connected, but technically it's a different show. But I will have to watch that. But we're gonna talk about Twin Peaks. Um, so the first season is only 8 episodes, and it's a legendary 8 episodes in that season. Um, it's a lot of stuff that unfolds. It all starts out with Laura Palmer getting murdered, and they have to try to figure out why she got murdered and who her killer was and how it happened. So the first season is really good in the fact that it really keeps you engaged with trying to figure out, well, just who was it that murdered Laura Palmer. This is what the first season figures out, was that it was the first season that figured out who murdered Laura Palmer. So in doing this, there's a lot of investigation, a lot of interviewing, interrogating different people. Many different investigations took place with, of course, none other than Dale Cooper involved, who's played by Kyle MacLachlan, who is, I mean, obviously, in my opinion, the best character in the show, I would have to say. But that's not to say there's not other good characters. I love Harry, the sheriff. He's great. Um, and I love James Hurley, even though he doesn't make an appearance towards the end of this series. But um, yeah, that I'll get into that though, because like I just have to say, first of all, this first season is amazing. It really immerses you into the world with the signature soundtrack that is amazing, the theme song, the characters, and just how like sad it is that this person was murdered in this small town where basically nothing goes on. It's Twin Peaks, but yet Twin Peaks is this weird town where weird things seem to happen for some reason. But so like Laura gets murdered and it's a real tragedy and you can really feel that in the show. And I really love that. And then like Donna Hayward and James Hurley fall in love. Interestingly enough, even though James Hurley was Laura Palmer's ex-boyfriend and Donna Hayward was, I guess, like Laura Palmer's best friend. So that's a thing. And like a lot unfolds for sure. Like Leo Johnson, who was like involved in, like he was like an accomplice. He wasn't the murderer, but he was an accomplice of the murder. Um, Now, I do want to make myself remember that I don't want to give too much away, just because I just don't feel like it's good to try to go in depth about what exactly happened. I feel like I can still give my review without going into detail about what happened. So basically, this whole first season spends the time figuring out who the killer was. That's the first season. Now, a lot of people, I've heard people say, second season just wasn't that good. Because once you know who the killer is, it doesn't matter. I disagree with that. Because the first 9 episodes, and I want to preface, just the first 9 episodes of the second season are also really amazing. they go in depth about um, like why Laura Palmer was killed, how she was killed, and like what exactly happened. It's basically like a breakdown of like what really happened, on that night, and like what forces of evil were at work. And figuring that out was really cool. And I love the drive of trying to wonder and piece together, just like the police were and Agent Cooper, like exactly what was going on. Like I found that really cool. Like it was like I was investigating it, and like they were investigating it, and like it's like the first season as well, but like this season, part of this these first 9 episodes as well is Lynch at some of his best. Um, in these 9 episodes in the second season, because of just exactly what was actually occurring. Um, I'll just say this: it wasn't ordinary as far as how these murders took place. I did say murders, but I won't say more about that. But um, yeah, it was it was a bit different than the ordinary murder, um, because there were some complex forces of evil at work that I will say, and throughout that was all really interesting, um, and then season episode 10 happens, and it's kind of like, well, that's kind of the end of that, and then it kind of jumps into this whole other story that's unrelated to Laura Palmer. Um, Now, I hate to say this, I don't know if it sounds dumb of me to say it, but I feel like Twin Peaks, if it's not relevant to Laura Palmer, it becomes less interesting to watch, because Laura Palmer is this sweet innocent girl who sadly got murdered, and you're like, damn, that really sucks for this whole town, and I want to see like this person brought to justice, and like, I mean, they kind of end up resolving it in episode 9. And then you're just like, well, like, what's next? And, like, it kind of just deters off into a different storyline where you're just like, I mean, this isn't the same. Like, episode 10 is just like something completely different from the rest of the story. It kind of like I kind of almost wish episode 10 was the last episode in the series. As weird as that sounds, at least at the moment that I watched it. Episode 10 should have been the last episode in the season. That would have felt right. Now the final episode was interesting. I'll get into that in a second. But episode 10 was Agent Cooper basically about to leave Twin Peaks because um, he had done what he needed to do, basically. So like he was gonna leave. So and like he was on his way out, and like something really bizarre happens, with like a flash of white light, and that like leaves a cliffhanger for the next episode as to what's gonna happen. And then 12 more episodes happen somehow. Not that it's a bad thing, but like they just happen. With this old friend, or now enemy of Dale Cooper. His name is Wyndham Earl, who I found to be honestly not that interesting, and it felt like they were trying too hard to make him like an evil character, and like they made it like so blatantly obvious that he was evil, and like I don't like when like the bad guy is just like blatantly the bad guy. Like I don't like that. Like um, there was one bad guy where like it kind of made sense. I feel like, but like this bad guy, not so much, because basically he had killed Dale Cooper's past girlfriend in the past, and now he came to Twin Peaks to, I guess, kill Dale Cooper? Like, what? Like, I don't even know. It kind of just like blows my mind that he's somehow a villain because he used to be an FBI agent, just like Dale Cooper. And Dale Cooper said, that guy taught me everything I needed to know. You know, that's kind of neat. I'm like, okay, but he's a bad guy. And he just like became crazy all of a sudden. Like, okay, like, why? But like, like, and like throughout like these next 12 episodes, like, a lot of it like isn't all that interesting. Um, I have to say there is a storyline with like Catherine Martell and like um, Josie Packard and Benjamin Horn, which I just didn't find all that interesting because like in season one like um, they like set fire to a mill. I mean that's like not a huge spoiler, but like they set fire to a mill and that just creates a whirlwind of like conse- consequent like problems like from like Catherine Martell who wants to like avenge that or something, and they try to like get money to restart the mill or something. I don't even know. Like some things that Lynch puts out, I just feel like aren't worth investing like trying to figure out. And this was just one of those things that I kept seeing that just like I really just don't have any interest in this. I'm sorry. Like this whole like war with the mills or whatever, trying to get millions of dollars from Benjamin Horn because he's a rich guy. But like I don't know. I think honestly, Catherine Martell is like the least interesting character in the entire series. Not good at all. I just she just seems so like bland. Like I don't even know, but like and then like Benjamin Horn, like he has an interesting storyline where like he like almost like um, he kind of like goes downhill somehow, where like you're kind of like okay, I mean that's kind of interesting to see his character development because he's learning like what it's like to he used to be like up here and now he's like down here and he kind of like he almost becomes like a different person, which is kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like that, I guess. Okay. And like and then you have like Pete Martell, Catherine Martell's wife, who I actually enjoy. I don't get how Catherine Martell and Pete Martell are married. I find that to be mind-boggling because I love Pete Martell's character and he's just so much different from Catherine Martell. Pete Martell is, by the way, played by Jack Nance, who you may know from a movie called Eraserhead. And his character is funny. Not just funny, but also just I just love his persona and his acting. Everything about his character is great. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just love his character. Um, he's interesting. He adds a different dynamic to it because he's more of like an old fashioned sort of guy. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like he kind of represents what Twin Peaks is like. He's like more like down to earth, old fashioned, laid back. I don't know. He's a cool guy. But anyways, um, you know, and then you have like Donna Hayward, who I really love. Her whole storyline with James Hurley and their like evolving relationship, and like you know other characters, um, like of course Dale Cooper and Harry, and then like Andy, Andy who's like one of the cops, and like Lucy the secretary. There's like supposedly like Lucy was having a kid, and Andy was believed to possibly be the father, and like that whole storyline is funny and entertaining to watch. I mean, I did enjoy that. Um, and then like there's this one character, Leo Johnson, who I kind of felt let down by, honestly. Like, he was kind of a meathead in the first season. He, you know, like, like loved Shelly, but like abused her. So they were in like an abusive relationship, and like, but like he still had like some brain to like know like what to do or what to say, like when being asked questions, or I don't know. I didn't even know. He just seemed more human in the first season. But then the second season, like he comes out of a coma and like um, he's just like brainless. Like I thought he would be more like just like advanced in his intelligence, like after like coming out of that coma, but honestly, he wasn't. Um, I really just want to like talk more about like things about the series, but I will get into that. And lastly, the finale. Um, this finale was different, very different from the rest of the show. Um, it definitely felt more Lynch. Um, Not necessarily in a good way, because a lot of it felt just like it wasn't sending a clear message. It was just trying to confuse you just for the sake of confusing you. Like it felt like there was no clear message. And it felt like um, the biggest letdown of all is that they really, really, really ended it on a cliffhanger. Um, like like there was supposed to be a season 3 of Twin Peaks, and there wasn't. Um, so yeah, that's a thing. They took 25 years to bring the series back, which is not good. I don't know what the revival would do to redeem that, but there was a lot of things that were left on the line at the end of season 2, and man, they really left it all out there for you to just wonder and wonder what had happened. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the stuff that happened in the season finale um, was confusing and hard and a little difficult to understand. But I feel like they were setting up for a season 3, and that the season 3 would really take the time to more like explain exactly what happened there. Where Dale Cooper would like, you know, divulge like what had happened, and like they'd all try to work together and figure it out. But that didn't happen. Like it just ended. Like what is wrong with you? Freaking I think it was ABC. I don't even know. ABC had the first season, maybe Showtime had the second season. I don't even know. But like I think Showtime has the revival. But either way, like why? Why just cancel it right then and there? Why not have like something to just end it off? Like hot damn, like I applaud you for bringing this series back after 25 years, but it took 25 years to bring this series back. But okay, now for those who haven't watched the show, I advise to click away from the video because I will divulge a little bit on just spoilers, just for a little bit, because you know Leo Johnson basically got put into a coma at the end of season 1 from getting shot by presumably Hank Jennings. Not a good character, by the way. I don't like Hank Jennings. Oh my god. But I love Shelly. Shelly's great. But like he gets put in a coma and he witnesses Bobby's and Shelly's evolving romance, which I do love also. I do love that. I think Bobby Briggs is a good character. I feel like other people would not like him as much, but I do like him. That's aside the point. They take care of Leo when he's basically a vegetable. His eyes are open, and he's basically like a vegetable, like looking out, just like, like he's alive, but not really. Like he's in a coma. So like he witnesses what goes down between Bobby and Shelly. I feel like he does, because eventually he comes back and he wants to just kill Shelly because reasons. And like, it's just retarded because I feel like Leo wasn't that smart in season 1, and like he was even dumber in season 2 because he barely says anything in season 2 at all. I could guarantee you Leo Johnson probably says less than 100 words in season 2. I'm not even joking. He doesn't talk at all. He's so low intelligence. Like, it's really sad. Like I don't think the coma should do that to him. I think if anything, he should come out of the coma and be, fine, and just like be like, maybe Shelly, I'm sorry about the way I treated you. Maybe I was wrong. I need to be a better person. Something along those lines. Like, would have been so much better to see that like character development because at the end of the day, Leo wasn't really the bad guy. He wasn't the true bad guy of the series. He was kind of a bad guy, but he wasn't the true bad guy. So like I would have loved to see like his character just become something more. But like that's just what I have to say about that. But like I mean like Benjamin Horn, like I like the way his character was. Like he used to be the owner of One Eye Jacks, and like which was like a terrible place, which did like terrible things to people a lot, including Laurel Palmer. But like eventually, like he owns up to it, and just I feel like he has good intentions. He kind of got caught in the wrong place. But a little bit more spoiler talk. Maddie Ferguson, who is Laura Palmer's cousin, gets murdered in season 2, and that is interesting to see like them like divulging that and figuring out that as well, because basically like an evil entity was possessing well, in particular Leland, to kill um, those people. And like there's a lot behind that, but like that's what makes it interesting. But anyways, yeah, it was a great series. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the atmosphere it brought. I enjoyed um, some of the comedy in it. I enjoyed a lot of it, but um, definitely not all of it. I can tell you that much. Um, those last 12 episodes of season 2, I wouldn't say they're boring. I'd say they've got their parts that are interesting still. It's just the first 8 episodes of season 1 and first 9 episodes of season 2 are like interesting all the way through. Like everything about them is interesting. But once you get past that, the interest kind of dies down a little bit here and there. But it's enough to still make you want to watch the series. So it's not like, oh shit, like I'm so tired of this. I'm not gonna even finish this season. Like no, like I mean the season was still okay after episode 9, but it was the best in those times. So that's what I got to say about that. But and lastly, the season ends with Dale Cooper basically becoming possessed by this evil entity named Bob. And that's literally what it ends with. Dale Cooper is Bob, who's the bad guy, who once you're possessed by him, you're like evil and you're gonna do like bad things. And like that's literally how it ends. So like 25 years later, like okay, Dale Cooper is still Bob? Like I don't know, like what? Like I don't even know. But like and like there's a cliffhanger where like they got like a box in the mail. Well, or Andrew Packard and Pete Martell and Catherine Martell all got this box, and they were trying to open it, and it led to an explosion, which presumably killed a lot of people. And that was also a cliffhanger, and they never revealed who exactly died in that. Um, they presumed everyone, I guess. Like, I don't know, but yeah, that's just kind of how it ended. I wish it had tried to close things off. If it was really just gonna end flat out, like did the show just say, yeah, fuck you, like we're not gonna continue your show anymore, goodbye, like it's kind of just like, wow, that's an ending, okay, like Jesus. But yeah, it's a great show nonetheless. Overall, like like 50% or 60% of this show was amazing, like actually amazing. The other 40% was also good, not amazing, but good. But I will say that. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.